hypnotic dance.
Oh, testing, testing. Is this thing on? Hello, this thing on? I'm just kidding. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and we are underway here for our Saturday night fun fest of Paranormal Mayhem. And I'm not doing this alone. No, sirree. I have myself a friend. And my friend here tonight is Mr. Don Longbeard. Welcome, Mr. Co-host.
Oh, hey, thanks for the unmute there.
You know.
Yeah, you're the
I said you're
immutable.
here. I didn't say anybody be able to hear you.
Oh, okay.
No.
You're saying he can hear.
I can hear you just fine.
Well, how are you this Saturday? Oh, guess
know,
what?
What?
May the 4th be with you.
Oh, dude, I was going to say that to you.
Oh, shit. Well, I beat you to it
No.
this time.
Damn it. I wanted to say that. All right. May the 4th be with you as well. Let us pray.
You know what? You know what's funny is like, can you imagine all the Jedis are off because that's a Jedi holiday, and all the stormtroopers are sitting at work right now going, "Damn Jedi."
Why didn't our union get the 4th off? Yeah. The Stormtrooper Union probably sucks. That's why.
They can't even hit a day.
Well, welcome everybody, and happy 4th to you all. May the 4th be with you all as we are into this Star Wars holiday. And I hope you guys are doing great. You said, how are you, Don? And I need to tell you,
Oh,
I sneezed twice this morning.
yeah.
And blew a rib out or something. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I am in just agony all day.
How do you blow a rib out?
You know, this is new for me, but I have an idea that it has something to do with having a birthday.
Welcome to 50.
You know, we can forget about naming my age every chance we get. Welcome to older, maybe would be fine.
welcome to CRS.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to forget that, but you know, it freaking hurt. I sneezed twice, and I was just like, achoo, achoo. And I was just stuck.
Right.
And then I tried to breathe, and it was like, oh my God. It felt like a rib is out next to my spine. I don't know what the hell it is.
Ouch.
Never had anything like this happen before, but oh my God. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, getting old sucks. I mean, it's like a 10 on the suck chart. That's all I can tell you. This hurts. And you know, it just took a fraction of a second to happen, and it's just been agony all day. I had to lay down for a while. I did get a good nap, but
lucky you.
yeah, but it's really miserable. I mean, even just sitting here now. But I love you all so much. I couldn't dream of not being here. So
yeah, absolutely.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mayhem episode of the Paranormal Portal, and I hope you're having a wonderful weekend wherever you are. And I hope your weather's been absolutely brilliant.
It's been great here today.
Yeah, it was a nice day. A little cloudy at the later part of the day, but still, I was barefoot. I'm in my shorts and a t-shirt, and this is my happy place. So let's see what kind of mayhem we can get to. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to join the discussion, you have a couple of options. You can call in. The call-in number for the Paranormal Portal, it's a special one. It's all our own. And the call-in number is 720-923-0500. Again, 720-923-0500. You can call in and be a part of the discussion. If you have something paranormal you'd like to share with us, something about the paranormal you'd like to share, if your opinion of the paranormal, if you hear something and you go, oh, you know what, but this, call in and share that. I mean, I love when you guys get involved in the discussion. It makes the show so much better, so much more dynamic, and you guys are basically the third co-host here, or the second co-host, or however the hell that math works out. You're like a part of the show, is what I'm trying to say.
Third cousin twice removed on my mother's side, whose brother is
Yeah, whose brother's mother's sister's cousin's girlfriend.
word.
Yeah, it's just, it just really makes the shows a lot more fun when you guys get involved. Now, we've had an epic week of just involvement with our listening audience. It's been a lot of fun. Some great information has been brought to the table from you guys, and it's been great. Now, I've never seen that name before. Chris Guy, welcome to the show.
Yes. Hello.
MCAT, getting old makes you weak. I feel weak right now. I don't know how MCAT's feeling, but I think he's a machine. He's just, he might be part Terminator for all I know.
No. Oh, no.
But I'm feeling every minute of this age right now. Holy Christ.
Gemini says it doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise.
Well, wisdom I may got, but I think I'd be just fine with a little bucket full of youth right now. You remember when you were young and you could just do stupid crap all day, and you'd be a little sore, but it'd be like, hey, cool. Now you do, you sneeze and Christ, you're nearly in traction. I don't get it. I don't know. But anyway, enough whining. I have a microphone, so I may be prone to whine from time to time. It happens.
No way.
It can happen.
No
I'm
way.
just saying. I'm putting it out there. I might, occasionally whine or wince in pain. And if you see that, any and all sympathy is greatly appreciated.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I'm a guy, I need that. I need that.
Your empty bucket over here is filling up with sympathy for me, that's for sure. Oh, that's not sympathy.
But let's get into some mayhem, Don. What do you think is going on in the world today?
It's hard telling what's going on in the world today because you don't know if it's the truth or not.
That's true, you don't.
But I bet you got a few stories over there you could be interested in reading.
I could, and I might just very well do that. So, I don't know if this is paranormal or not, but I think it's interesting. So what's going on, and this is coming from the Singular 40, and again, I like this site. I keep you going back to this site because they just do an epic job, and I figure the least I can do is plug them because they're giving us lots of discussion points in what they're covering. But what they're talking about, and I'll put it on the screen because it's really curious, but it's apparently an image is going around the internet, seemingly designed to be indecipherable. Coca-Cola, is sweeping across the internet, causing confusion among thousands of viewers. The image ostensibly began circulating on Twitter earlier this week and can be traced back to an anonymous and sourceless creepy images post to 4chan's paranormal board on January 28th, 2019, although the image could be even older. The image has been shared dozens of times on 4chan since then, and most often touted as cursed or possessing of some supernatural quality. Wow. And let me put it up on the screen because I think this is interesting, especially if it's possessed and bears some supernatural quality. Why is this not moving? There it goes. Okay.
Could be because you got 20 tabs open. Everything's got to shift.
At least 20. All right, so I'm going to put it up on screen here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the image in question. There it goes. It did it again. My freaking board is haunted. I swear. What? My God. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream, my board is currently haunted. I'm not sure what the hell's going on. I'm going to try.
Uh-oh.
Right?
Deb says, guess who's standing behind you, Brent?
Who's standing behind me, Deb? let's not have mystery time.
No, now's not the time to wonder about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're rebooting your board.
Yeah, I'm
Picture's
trying.
way out. Oh my goodness.
I'm just leaning way over. Yeah, yours is all screwed up. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is the portal.
Wow.
And these kind of things are known and prone to happen at any time.
She said your buddy, so.
God. What the freaking... Oh, this guy's a dick if he's here. I'm gonna exercise some butt tonight. I'm telling you. All right, I'm doing it old school. I'm unplugging that thing.
Oh no.
That sounded terrible, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
It came out really bad.
I can't say what I wanted to say, but either way, it wouldn't have sounded right, I guess.
Oh no.
Yeah, the's a reason I don't cuss, ladies and
you have
gentlemen.
a haunted board.
Apparently, I'm not very good at it. That is the way my night went yesterday. Now, Don, we've been doing what for how many hours?
Yeah,
and
we've been
recorded.
sitting here and
We've been recording podcast
an issue.
episodes. Never had a quirk, not a hiccup. Boom, we go to the live show, and this garbage starts happening. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know computers are flaky, and that stuff can happen. However,
it happens an awful lot.
I'm just about to show a cursed image or some supernatural image, and all of a sudden my board's like, no, hell you are. And brings me to the credit scene, like, hey, cut it off.
No, this show's over. Get out of here.
The ghost box earlier said bit, B-I-T, bit, and that was just before we went live. I don't know what the hell is going on. But again, I think since we spend so much time talking about the paranormal, the paranormal finds us over and over and over.
Lucky says redneck ghost on the board.
Yeah, the ghost is trying to DJ it up like wicka 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 fresh. Wicka wicka portal. It just, we got the mix master up here screwing up my scenes. So good Lord. Oh, so I got a rib out. My board is haunted. I don't know. Doesn't this stuff come in threes?
Shush. Because the next thing is whatever the presence is that Deb's talking about, it's probably going to end up sitting in my lap.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Deb, of course, is our Paranormal Portal psychic, and she's telling me that someone is actually standing behind me, and
Better you than me.
well, Don, I'm willing to share. If
okay.
let me do this. Bring this image as full screen as I can for you guys on YouTube, and for those of you that are not on YouTube, it's an image of what seems to be a pile of stuffed animals or ornamental stuff, and then there's some strange characters written on some items behind there, and it says the picture is designed to give the viewer the simulated experience of having a stroke.
Like, I want that.
Particularly in the occipital lobe of the cerebral cortex, where visual perception occurs. Everything looks hauntingly familiar, but you can't quite recognize anything. No, I'm okay, because I don't have the stroke thing going on, because I just think it looks like a lot of my house. No, I'm just
I just don't care.
I know. Well, yeah, exactly. It's like I'm not experiencing
What's
any
the
stroke.
point? Yeah.
Right. It's just a bunch of weird stuff stacked up. And it looks like any modern art exhibit in any gallery anywhere. I mean, really.
That's a good question, Lucky. Why the hell would somebody want that to happen? I don't know.
Hey, guys, you want to have a stroke?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, look at this. It's just like having a stroke. What the hell?
I don't get it.
I don't either. And I get the fact that there's lots of things that you can't, that may
Quite
look.
identify, yeah.
Right. They're like close to things like, but none of them actually make sense. However, I don't care personally. I'm not emotionally invested in this, enough to care. And that sounds like, I'm being flippant about it, but honestly, I don't, these things, if that's what a stroke's like, then I guess I thought it'd be a lot worse.
I'm just going to have a good time then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
So that's apparently the meaning behind it.
Makes no sense.
I don't know what it all is supposed to mean. So this is what H.P. Lovecraft meant by indescribable shapes. Thanks, losing my sanity now. And the person responds, this photo knows the gate. This photo is the gate. This photo is the key and guardian of the gate. Creepy much? Hello. Past, present, and future are all one in this photo. Well, I don't know. That sounds like a lot of creative writing there. I don't know what's. I really don't know what's so fascinating about this.
Maybe I'm just not right-brained enough to understand it.
Well, apparently you're all right-brained because you saw that shoe as certain colors.
No, I'm left-brained.
No, that was me.
No.
The gray and the green
was the right
was
brain.
the left brain. The right brain was seeing it the way whatever the hell
I'm
you saw.
looking it up.
Yeah, go ahead. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're referring to is before the show we came across this another one of those what color's the dress thing, except this time it was a shoe.
Yeah.
And I see it as gray colored shoe with kind of an aqua green color on the decoration or the trims.
And I see it as pink and white.
Don sees pink and white. And what does it mean?
You see a combination of pink and white. So right brain, left brain dominant. If you're right brain dominant, you will see a combination of pink and white. If you're left brain, you'll see gray and green. So you see gray and aqua, which is a blue-green.
Which is left brain.
Which is left brain.
Right, that's what I said.
No, it's not.
Rewind the tape. Ladies and gentlemen. Help me out, ladies and gentlemen. What did I say? Was I left or right brain before Don read this? Because apparently Don is currently stroking out. Anybody want to weigh in on that? I'm pretty sure I said I had left. And Don was right. Pam, which was it? MCAT? Anyone?
Pam said Dawn.
No, he said he's like Don, like that.
Yeah, Dawn. Dawn's right. Dawn.
Whatever. See, Randall Electric says left. I said left. You're right. You are correct. Let me rephrase that. So let's get a picture of that and put it up. Could you?
Oh yeah. Let me.
Can you send it to me?
Let me re-tag you on it here,
please. And I'll put it up on the screen so people can see what we're talking about. And you guys will have to let me know what you guys see. And those of you on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, you can certainly head over to youtube.com/paranormal portal and see the live stream and see the visual representation that we're going to put up. However, this thing is all over social media. And if you don't feel like loading up YouTube, then look on your Facebook. Somebody in your friends list will be sharing this image.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's all over the place. So, did you do it already?
Oh, no. Now, my, yeah.
You're too right-brained for it.
Okay.
So and it's funny. I've never really bought into that left-right brain stuff too much because, and I'm not blowing my own horn, but I'm a very creative person and artistic and all of that. So I don't know.
Toot, toot.
There it is. Okay. Toot, toot. Hey, Don.
Check this out.
Have a nice can of shut the hell up.
Save image as.
Well, I'm just going to put it up here if you're okay with that.
Well, I'm going to save it and I'm going to put it on TFR.
Oh, very good. Don's going to give it to you guys over at TFR, so hang in there if you're listening over there.
It's going to be called Pink Shoe.
Going to be called Pink Shoe, ladies and gentlemen. It is the mystery of the pink shoe. I'm going to put it up on screen right now as soon as, because I had to unplug my control center for my display screens. All right, so this should be it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the shoe in question. I see a gray shoe with aqua green trim and laces. What do you see, guys? Hi, guys.
Hey,
what
guys.
do you see?
I knew that was coming. Oh, you know what? I don't know if Sophia's going to let me put this up here.
Ooh. Put a link.
She doesn't like me.
Can you link it? Or is it... it comes from Thoughts for Life. That's the
okay,
Facebook
let me go
group.
there and get the original one.
Yeah. Just get a link. So
Get a link.
Pink and white Virginia sees. Pink and white is what... no, pink shoe, white stripe is what Haxer sees.
Mm-hmm.
Deb sees pink and white. So a lot of right brains out there.
That's
Bigfoot
right.
in Germany is faded pink shoe with dirty white trim. Rand Electric, gray and green. All right, brother, representing. Jim Mount sees gray. Amen, brother. Pink shoe. Pam, mostly pink and white, but shades of green. So Pam's kind of integrated there, I think is what that would mean. Gray and green. Amen, MCAT. Welcome, brother, to the club.
I hope that'll work.
Okay, so check those of you in TFR, check the link in there. But this gray and greenish Nick is seeing. Is there? Yes.
Aussie Tiger's being resistant. Says red shoe under a blue light.
Ooh, he's getting all kinds of technical. That's definitely right brain because you got to be creative to come up with that. Gray and aqua, Renee is seeing. Very
Jim
good.
says you in gray.
Bama is pink and white. Gray and aqua. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you buy into this Aussie red shoe under blue light, Nicholas Williams, there's no pink at all. I agree, Nick. I don't see any pink either, but it's interesting that so many do. And I think those things are very interesting, whether or not, you can buy into if you're left brain or right brain, that means you're more logical versus more creative, blah, blah, blah. And so for Don and me, that's very polar opposite because I find that he tends to cling to the logic a lot stronger than I do. And I tend to be mostly more interested in creative pursuits than he. But I don't know, what that all means. But I think it's interesting. It is another dress thing. It's exactly right. So let's see. Anybody else? How weird is that?
Nicholas says, "Baby, I need another glass of wine." Here, my friend. Here.
You'll start to see all kinds of pink stuff eventually.
That's okay. Apparently, MCAT doesn't see a shoe; he sees a coffee pot. I gotta go with him on that one too.
There is no shoe.
There is no shoe.
Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, there is no shoe.
Oh my goodness! So
all right, so that's interesting, and it's a great little quiz to see, what you guys see and think, and I think it's very interesting that it's so varied. It's either one or the other. That whole dress thing, I never saw. I
saw an ugly dress.
Yeah, that's all I saw, and I never really spent enough time with it to see what it meant, other than the fact that people were seeing such different colors was so interesting to me. Same with the shoe now. I don't know. It's bizarre. All I can see is a gray shoe with aqua green trim and lacings, but I think it's cool that people are seeing such different things. So, for whatever that means, is it paranormal? No, but it is an insight. What it is, though, ladies and gentlemen, and quite seriously, is it does represent that, when you think about what people perceive,
yes,
there's such a variety of what people perceive. Now, we're just speaking about the colors. Now, it would be interesting if they would break down what do people see. What is it that they see when they look at the picture? Do they just see the shoe? Do they see the hand? Do they see the stool behind it? Or, all these other things that, and it goes to show you how varied it is when people witness things, how they can come up with such discrepancy, even though they both saw the same thing. Well, I think that stands to reason. And it may, oftentimes when more than one person witnesses something, when they're questioned, if their stories don't correlate, boom, it's dismissed.
Right.
Well, clearly, they didn't see the right stuff or whatever, or it doesn't correlate, so let's get rid of it. Well, these kind of examples do really clearly demonstrate that people can be looking at the very same thing.
And have two different perceptions.
And
totally.
Yes, exactly. So the fact that two witnesses may not be able to corroborate each other's stories exactly to a detail is not hard to believe when you take these kind of things into account. So
right.
I think that's what it proves to me most of all. But you guys may or may not agree with that. All right. So I've unplugged the haunted board, and we seem to be in good shape now. That's
lucky. She says, what ticks me off is I see a pink splotches on a gray shoe. I hate these things.
Lucky, you are just a whole nother level of unique. You know that, right?
Oh, my.
See, I got no pink going on in there at all. It just looks gray to me, but that's cool. I don't know how you can get pink splotches. I mean, I do see there's on the toe of the shoe, there is let me get back to the screen so everybody can see what I'm talking about. I can see there is a reddish tint up here that I don't really understand, but I'm looking at it as a whole color rather than, trying to understand these little, pattern variations where there's other colors coming in. But just very cool. Yeah. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And it really wasn't planned, but since it came up.
That was a great correlation, though, about, what do you see? What is your perception of it? And how does it measure or how does it show in somebody else's point of view, perspective? That's actually a great correlation right there. Nice job.
Rand Electric, and thank you, by the way. Rand Electric said, everybody should like the crap out of this show. The guys need unhaunted equipment.
There is no doubt there.
But you know, it adds a little flavor to every show.
And I swear, again today, before I left the house, I used my sage and black pepper body wash. It is not me. I didn't do it.
You got to burn sage, though. It's not. It's like I ate sage.
I don't want to
on my
rub
stick.
burn sage on me. That suck.
You're acting like your pit stick is gonna like exercise.
You can't smell it? Oh, God. Oh, it smells so good.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're in a happy place
I
over
just
there.
kind of want to lick myself. Oops. Well, you know, you did it earlier.
Mine, yeah. Let's just leave that lying in the gutter there. All right, so let's get back to more of this mayhem that we're into. But I like these kind of things because they do demonstrate some uniqueness among people, at the very least. Where did that site go? I just think I closed it. Did I really?
Surprising.
Derp. Hello, we're there. Oh, yeah. All right. I did lose my page. All right. Let me find it now. Dang it. Let's see. What was it? The singular40.com. Let's see. There's another thing on there I wanted to touch base on. Singular40.com. There it is. No, there it isn't.
Oh, my goodness. I'm searching.
Well, yeah, but yeah, I suppose you could just read them too. Let me just do this. This is it. This is it. I did the. It's not a the.
Oh.
It's just singular 14. There it is. I found it, ladies and gentlemen. Now there's another one here.
Oh.
It's break time, so we'll get to the rest of this.
Is
on
there
the
a
other
show
side.
coming up today?
Yeah, at some point we'll actually have a show, ladies and gentlemen. So don't go away, and we'll try to bring you one. Jesus.
Oh, no.
Wow. I got nothing.
We are TFR Frequency Radio.
I see what Bigfoot did your name. You did it like totally right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Paranormal Portal. I am your host, Brent Thomas, and I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard. And
That's me still.
we are doing the Mayhem episode. I see we got a caller on the board, so I didn't notice that before the break, and I'm sorry about that, but let's get to it now. All right, so this is area code 614. You're on the air.
How you doing, Brent? This is Jerry Klein.
Oh,
Mr. Jerry, how you doing, sir? Good to hear from you. What's going on in your world?
Oh, not too bad. Just been busy. Working a lot. Work.
Well, it's great to hear from you. I've been plenty busy too, but how's everything over in your neck of the woods tonight?
Oh, not too bad. I just want to tell you guys about a story that happened to me when I was a kid.
Oh, please.
We lived in Human Village in Columbus, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid growing, I was very, very young before my mom and dad split up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a ghost story.
Excellent.
But it actually happened. So this is what happened was my mom had us downstairs. We was all watching TV. I was probably 4 years old then. I vaguely remember this just a little bit, but I remember my mom talking about the robber got into our house. Okay.
Oh.
So my dad owned a pizza place at the time. He owned several pizza places, but my dad had opened a franchise called Donato's Pizza, and then sold the franchise, which is a great pizza place nowadays.
Oh, good.
And then my dad had Aldino's, and then he had Teresa's Pizza. So at the time, my mom was home there at our house on Hanford Avenue. And it's an old German house. That's why I call it German Village. All these houses built by German immigrants.
Uh-huh.
So we're all downstairs. We're watching TV, and one of them great big, huge, wooden framed TVs got where you flip the top up and had the record player inside
right.
of them.
Yeah, one of those whole consoles.
So,
yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. And we just watched them. Back then, you can only get 3 or 4 channels back then.
Uh-huh.
And I remember my mom taking us, running us up the steps, just flying up there. And there's 6 of us kids.
Wow.
She goes flying up with us, grabs pistol out, and upstairs, she had a landline phone up there too, and she calls my dad.
Uh-huh.
Well, half a mile is from our house to my dad's pizza place. And my mom swears, to this day, well, she's passed away, but
Sure.
she used to say, I could hear the tires squalling from her dad and our cousin Ed coming down through there, the pizza place, you know. But, this person come up the steps, and I do remember seeing a person, and my mom shutting us up into a bedroom and locking it with the old skeleton keys.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then Mom unlocked it right after that, and she said she could hear the tires squalling. She was on their way. Because we didn't have 911 at the time.
Right.
You had
Sure.
dial 0 to get a hold of,
Yep.
So I remember her cracking the door, and I seen a black-figured fellow coming up the steps,
Wow.
and it's nothing. Nothing after that. We didn't see nothing, didn't hear nothing, anything.
Whoa.
So when my dad got, he's beating on the door. He's beating on the door. He was there in like minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we go back downstairs. My mom's she's got a pistol on her, 38.
Sure.
And she checks all the rooms and turns all the lights on. And we go back downstairs, unlocks the back door. Dad goes in and checks all the windows. No windows was jibbed, nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Oof.
Dad, when we first moved into that house, this is before I was born, they had an old furnace down there, an old boiler style furnace.
Uh-huh.
And Dad would get up there and crank it up, in the winter time, and it run off, gas, but it was a boiler style because we had the old radiators that come upstairs.
Right.
But anyhow, he cranked that up, and that system down there go, hey, and start screaming. My mom said, something evil in that basement. And my dad would laugh. Finally, one day, my dad was asleep on the couch. He was watching football or something on there and fell asleep. Something grabbed his hand and jerked him off the couch.
Ooh.
And Dad said, we're getting a new furnace down there, and I'm blocking off that whole basement. Because there was different multi-rooms to that basement.
Oh. Wow. That is intense.
So, yeah. And this is what my mom was telling me from back years ago before I was born, and then another thing happened. I remember my grandmother taking me upstairs and put me in my bed. I was like 3.5, maybe 4 years old before any of the rest of this started. And my dad was telling me, I was telling my dad this years later. I said, I remember Grandma take me up there and put me in my bed. He said, I don't know how you remember that. She died when you was 1 year old.
Ooh.
And
Wow.
he said, you was way too young to even remember anything like it. He said she was too old to be able to put you in your crib back then. She had dementia back then. They didn't even know what dementia was.
Wow.
Sure.
And that's why my dad was taking care of his mom at the time. And I said, Dad, I'm telling you, I swear, I remember her taking my hand, walking me up the steps there in the old house, and putting me in my crib. And he said, that's impossible, Jerry. That would have never happened. She was too feeble to be able to do that.
Wow.
Whoa. That's amazing. So do you think that she maybe put you to bed after she had passed?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I really think.
Yeah.
And I think she stitched over me,
Mm-hmm.
after the years after that. I don't remember anything recalling, but I hated ambulances and police cars. I hated hearing that siren sound. It scared the hell out of me. I knew something was bad going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we're right in Columbus, Ohio back then when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
And it was like somebody put their hand on my chest and pushed me back down my bed and was patting me on my shoulder like, it's okay. It's okay.
Wow.
And then I, you know,
Yeah.
now I'm wondering if grandmother, you know.
Right. Yeah, I would say that's probably a pretty safe bet. That she was still there and being a part of the family. That's pretty powerful. Very cool. Yeah. I love those kind of stories. Did we lose you, Jerry?
Nope, I'm still here. Nope.
Okay. All right. But
I
that,
just get a little choked up.
Oh, yeah.
well,
Yeah.
you know, I think it's a beautiful story, and I thank you so much for sharing it with us here. I'm pretty sure that was your experience. Yeah. And what a cool experience to know that, you know, that she was there even when nobody else knew she was there.
Right.
Yeah. I think those are real powerful. But yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Well, I figured you're, you know, paranormal show more than you are Bigfoot. But I did want to, because I haven't told a whole lot of people about that. But
Right.
that is what, you know, the truth about us growing up.
Mm-hmm.
On Route 40, when my mom and dad split up into a house that was actually a, they called it an underground railroad house.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow. Whoa.
Things that happened in that house. We lived there 3 years. I was 6 years old when we moved there, when my mom and dad split up and got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing of it was, man, you could open a cupboard and watch it close in front of you.
Oh, jeez. Nice.
And there for 10 minutes, watch that cupboard door that was wide open. Next thing you know, it is slammed shut.
Oh, man.
And then after my mom sold the place, it had 3 cabins on it that she would rent out seasonally, you know, for people who want to come down there and do some hiking down the road, because there was state land down the road there. And this is out out in the country, off Route 40. And the thing of it was, the people bought it after us. I got talked to them because I was buying timber at the time back in early 2000.
Okay.
And I went back here and I knew we had timber on that property, and I went back here and talked to people, and I ended up buying the timber in 2000.
Okay.
And they said they had renovated the whole place inside there, and they took us a tour in there and showed us, you know, there was all kinds of rooms that was exposed we did not even know about when we lived in that house. And it entirely, totally different, the way they opened everything up inside this house. And this house was huge. And that's one of the reasons why my mom liked it, because it looked like something from down Georgia. It was a plantation house.
Yeah.
And had the out front of it and everything. And then these guys ended up giving us a history, because the people own it now. They tore down the cabins because it just got so bad they couldn't, you know, do anything with them. But when they walked us into the house, I said, yeah, there was a hidden room here. There was a hidden room over here. There's one down the basement. So we kept wondering how in the hell our cats kept getting back up into our house. We had kittens, and cats stay outside, but they'd end up inside of the house. Well, that's how they was getting in there. They was getting back through the secret rooms we knew nothing about. So anyhow, my mom's going, and this is when my mom was alive. She went out there. I called her up. Back then I had a Nextel phone, two-way, and I had two of them. One for my mom, and as an extra that I used for my company. But my mom had a time. I said, "Mom, you got to come out to our old house here out on Route 40." She said, "Why?" I said, I got to show you something, She drove out there, and then she walked through these people's house, that we used to own.
Uh-huh.
And they told her, yeah, it was an all underground railroad house on Route 40. There's a lot of history that went on about Route 40. And I can't believe it, that here we was with an underground railroad house,
So the whole time,
and come find
the whole time
they had pictures. These people had pictures from the Civil War era, where they would leave a candle lit in the windows of that house. A picture of that house shown off of that Route 40. Back then, it was just nothing but a dirt road. But it's a 4-lane now. But there has been ever since I lived there. But anyhow, they would light candles in there for the slaves that was running up from the south to a safe haven there as an underground railroad, as they called it.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them, they said, some made it there and some of them died.
Wow.
They said some of them was buried around that house, too.
Oh, I believe that, yeah. Wow. What an amazing piece of history. And so the whole time you lived there, you didn't know it had these secret compartments and rooms and stuff?
No.
That's
they
amazing.
had wallpaper up on the walls and everything else that was just, coated over everything. So when other people moved in there, they just started renovating everything, tearing down the walls and everything. Oh, my God, there's another room. Here's another room. But here's a door that opens,
Right.
So here he's cats up through the basement, opening that one door. We didn't even know it. Because it looked like part of the wall.
Wow.
There was no door, nothing, but it would slide open.
Oh.
And they showed us pictures of the renovations. And I was like, holy cow. I was like, I cannot believe that. Then they got into looking at the history of that house. And it was like, yeah, this is part of the Underground Railroad back then.
That's
So
amazing.
back then, I'm sitting here thinking to myself to this day, because I like gold prospecting, metal detecting and all that. I'm like, man, I should have been out there. Because right there off Route 40, where they paved all that, and it used to be a dirt road, it was actually a station, too, for stagecoaches.
Oh.
And I didn't know that either. And I'm like, man, I go back, but I thought to myself, I bet the landowners there done already went around there with the metal detector and done found all the good stuff. So,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but still, I'll bet you there's still some treasures out there, brother.
yeah.
That's a lot of history. Wow. Very cool. Well, I really appreciate you calling in and being a part of the show. It's really great to hear from you. I will be contacting you tomorrow as well, and we'll figure out what's next.
Yeah, no problem. I had to work today and then come home, got at least a good 2-hour nap in because I had to go and work early and do a bunch of oil changes, grease jobs on our trucks and excavators and
Jeez. That's amazing.
half day, which helps me out. And then after I left there, I went and signed deals with the landowners on timber contracts and
Wow. All right.
that's just been busy. So
I hear you, brother. But yeah, I'll give you a holler tomorrow, and we'll touch base and figure out when we can record again. Okay.
Sounds great, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care, Jerry. Thanks again for calling in.
What a great story about the grandmother.
That is really cool. That's very powerful. And we got another call here. This is from our good friend, Mrs. Diane. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, imagine me more outgoing than I am right now. Whoa.
I don't believe that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you?
I was. Earlier this week, I did go out and heard my friend do her comedy routine and found out there was karaoke and booze.
Oh, boy.
And so it's been over a year since I did that or even had. I don't really drink unless I go out and I'm partying with friends. That's the only time I really drink. So, yeah, it was pretty wild. It got pretty wild. And we shut the place down, of course. So,
of course.
Did you
are as crazy as I am.
Did you shut the place down or did you get the place shut down?
Well, I should probably refuse to answer that on legal grounds.
Yeah, you don't want to implicate yourself on that deal.
Yeah, I don't want to implicate myself.
Oh no!
My friends, some of them are as crazy as me. You'll probably have them on the show sometime because I wanted to tell you my one friend that had the really weird picture that even freaked me out. She finally sent me that picture.
Uh-huh.
She's kind of lackadaisical, unfortunately, the poor dear, and I love her, but she is. And but I have been too. I've been dropping balls all over the place. No jokes. Oh yeah, jokes. Go ahead, make jokes about balls. We're used to it.
It's too easy.
We're used to it.
That's the low hanging fruit.
It's already done.
That's the low hanging fruit. We're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. Is that another nunk joke? The low-hanging fruit? What?
Yeah.
Did she just say that word?
She's talking about dropping balls and low-hanging fruit. It's going downhill, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeez, getting off to a great start.
Yeah, well,
hey.
it's a mayhem night. That's allowed.
Okay, that same friend that I went out with, she finally sent me the picture. And it is weirder than I remember it because as I look into it, it's like for a few seconds you look at it and say, I don't see anything. And then, as you keep looking at it, and then eventually it pops in and you're like, holy, fill in the blank, expletive.
Wow.
And then it appears to come up and look at you and then just kind of disappear off screen.
Huh. Well, that's
and
creepy.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to, and it is a still picture. It is not a movie. And so I am going to post it somehow or other and see if it works the same once I post it as it does on a phone. But, and then, what I want to do is when I come on your show, I do want to have some pictures and stuff ready for you guys. I don't want to just be another one of those callers that just calls in without pictures because I think the pictures really were neato that Virginia had, and I think we need to be mindful that it's a visual medium, and I'm going to try and get you some very cool pictures if I can, at least a couple or three.
That'd be wonderful.
When I
As long as they don't give us an occipital stroke or whatever that was.
Yeah, that's weird.
Try not to put anything in there that's really, I know, because poor Sean, he reacts to things so strongly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this would be the kind of picture he should even look at because he has such a strong reaction to pictures that he probably would have totally flipped out at Virginia's people, wouldn't have been able to look at the screen. They would have had to pick him back up off the floor. I haven't heard from Sean in a while. I hope everything's okay with him.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to call him and find out.
Last time I talked to him, he was getting over pneumonia or something like that.
Goodness.
So I don't know what's going on.
Hey, he's been AWOL for a while. He hasn't even been on his own show for a while.
Oh dear. Okay.
So I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I'll find out.
Sure.
Anyway, I'll call him and find out. So I have a question for you guys.
You can go ahead.
That's a kind of a paranormal question, and it might be religious. I don't know. If it is and it offends you, well, then please just, sit and spin. I don't care. You're going to have to deal with that.
Sure. What's the question?
Because, there are different beliefs out there, and you're just going to have to realize that there are. Mm-hmm. And we all going to have to play nice. So anyway, my cat, I'm thinking about, I don't know if I told you guys, but I did see my cat's passing. Well, this last cat that died, I have had some very strange post-life experiences with pets.
Okay.
And so to see her rise up out of her body, she dragged her poor little sick blind body up onto the bed. I didn't even know she could do that. I didn't even think she'd be able to. Went down by my feet, got herself in the Sphinx position, and turned into a white and rainbow cat and went through a rainbow portal into this beautiful place.
Wow.
And I got to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very beautiful experience and all that. But now this is my question. I've been looking into a lot of things, and I've looked into like rainbow body. I keep thinking, did my little cat ascend before me? Is that, that rainbow body thing, that's exactly what they say happens, is they turn into rainbow
Hold
light.
that thought, Dee. We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back in just a couple minutes here. So don't go away, everybody. We'll be right back.
Source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Linda.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend.
Carol Ann is not like those she's with. They're attracted to the one thing about her that is different from themselves. Her life force is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeist are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
And years and years and years and more years until it's more than just years. All right. Go ahead, Don.
I was just going to say, Nicholas says y'all need to switch scenes around so you're in the correct side of each other. The problem is that is correct. It's just one of the images is not flipped in perspective. Oh, well. Anyhow, so welcome back. We've still got Miss D on the phone, I do believe, and she was talking about rainbow cats.
Before we get to that,
oh, yeah?
I just got a notification on my phone.
Oh, goodness.
That apparently the Paranormal Portal has a new podcast available. And
wow.
The current episode is Cryptids with Duke Sullivan.
Wow.
Which is Duke, of course, is the creator and host of World Bigfoot Radio.
Yay.
It was an excellent show. It's a two-parter. The first part is this week. The next part will be next Friday. But really great discussion. And if you haven't heard it, definitely go check out the podcast on iTunes, iHeart, Pandora, Spotify,
Google. Are we on Google
Play,
iTunes?
I said iTunes, but
okay.
iTunes again.
There you go.
So definitely check out the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It'll definitely, it's been an amazing response. Really appreciate that, guys. All of you who have gone and checked it out, please subscribe and help us support that endeavor, because that is the wave of the future, and it's going to open up a lot of big possibilities for the show. So we really appreciate your support. So go check out wherever you find podcasts, and if you don't know where to find them, there's tons of, and they're free. Just go subscribe and check them out. Really appreciate it. And yes, we are joined by Diane, and we were just discussing her cat.
Her rainbow cat.
Rainbow cat going through the rainbow portal to a beautiful world. Diane, are you still there?
Yes, I am. I know it's not Bigfoot. I'm sorry, but
no, it's wonderful.
Just something that's been on my mind lately. And then I heard an animal communicator. I watched an animal communicator video.
Yes, I watched that too.
And she said that to animals, it's dying is just like for them. They have a different viewpoint of dying than we do. But obviously, if you watch, Beyond the Veil, I did bring this up to Chris. I said, she wasn't an NPC in any way.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this cat could not possibly have been an NPC.
Right.
She was just too much to her.
Right. No,
so, yeah, I'm trying to, if anybody's got, but, my other cat, when he died, I had dropped him off at the vet, and he was sitting on my bed, and I said, oh, no, that means you died, right? And he turned, I don't know, I think I told this story before, he turned into a cat guy and gave me a hug.
Right, yeah, I remember that story. Yep.
And gave me a hug, told me a whole lot of things, that he'd been a guy before, but he wanted to be a cat to experience the kind of love and attention women lavish on their cats. And now he's going to be a guy again. And which, completely flies in the face of everything we're told about everything. We're told that, animals don't really have the same kind of awareness, and we don't have a choice. Apparently we've got a choice. Apparently animals are not necessarily without awareness. They might even have a little bit more than we do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm beginning to wonder now. They seem to remember more than we do. They seem to remember, that this is just a game. I don't know. It's food for thought, and anybody who wants to talk about that can find me. I hope to be able to be more accessible. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody. I love you all. I'm not trying to avoid you.
No, I'm sure
I'm really not.
I know you're plenty
I
busy.
love you.
You're plenty busy, and you do need to get in touch with me about when we're going to do this artifacts or out of time kind of thing. I do want to do that
is it
show.
okay if I also throw buildings in there?
Sure.
These buildings should be here,
if
like
it's,
the megalithic buildings.
By all means, yeah. By all means. So.
And the mud flood stuff. And
absolutely.
Geez, maybe I need to do a show with her.
Well, we can do it on a Saturday, I suppose, if you want.
There you go, babe.
like pre-recording a show with her about like the mud floods and things like that, and then posting it up on Facebook or whatnot, or not Facebook, but YouTube. That way we can get her moving around.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
Sure.
Anyhow.
All right. So yeah.
If doesn't get jealous that I borrow you.
Well, he's such a busy guy. And I could talk with you about the mud floods and stuff, but like I said, that's later.
Yeah, I was thinking about a Friday episode because
one episode maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Of course.
It's all good.
I'm willing to share down.
Whatever happens. But I do want to get you some pictures because I think that adds to it.
Absolutely.
And gives an actual visual, because we are a visual medium. We're not just on radio now. We got to remember we're visual, and we need to kind of act like it maybe a little bit more. So I'm going to get you some pictures, and I'm going to get. I don't know why you couldn't see. I think it may be this way. If you're not used to seeing the clouds that are hiding things, they generate plasma, as I hear it, as I've been investigating. These things that are hiding generate plasma clouds to hide themselves in the sky. And the way, though, that you can tell is the clouds don't look normal, but then they've come up with other cloud names to kind of cover up the fact that these are really not normal clouds. They're actually plasma.
Oh, okay.
And hiding. Well, in the one corner, I don't know if anybody has heard of this. I'm going to try and I hope the pictures come out good because I can see it on my tablet. I know that not everybody sees the way I do, though, and this is kind of
it gets back.
In a way, it's kind of a drawback because I can see differently. And so, some of us, Sean, you show him a picture, a normal person looks at it and they just see a stairway, and Sean goes, "Wah!" And it's like, because he sees like a lot, or me, I'll go there and I'll just like pop in and go, "Whoa." I got to really watch that I don't get sucked into pictures because that can be kind of scary for myself even.
Oh,
but,
I bet.
it is. It's a weird talent. It's like, you know what? When I was a kid, I did want to be a superhero.
Oh, everybody.
It's a really weird talent.
Everybody wanted to be a superhero. I still want to be a superhero. I'm just kind of running out of time.
It's not that easy to be a superhero, though, is it really? It never was. You always have to worry about your loved ones and everything. Yeah. And then there are people who don't like that. That's what you're doing, because you're ratting them out. You're outing them. For what you're telling it like it is, which a lot of people are into secrets. Right. So it's not that easy having a superpower. I don't think it's really a superpower. I think we're all supposed to have this stuff. I think we're all supposed to be able to heal ourselves and do all kinds of things. I think these are things we should have, but just somehow it got stunted in us. I've got news. If you really want to help yourself, it's very easy to get now. Get yourself a TENS unit. Start zapping yourself with it and see what happens. If you're not feeling good, or if you're feeling pain, or if you're having problems with your development or something, I'm going to say this is probably even going to help your development, because without the parasites, I'm just going to use that word. Hulda Clark was the one who came up with the parasites, saying that people are really full of it.
Mm-hmm.
They're full of them. And they will interfere with all kinds of things, and we pick them up from all kinds of ways, and it's very easy to do. Although it's not something that's commonly acceptable to talk about, you know, in mainstream. We don't really talk about it too much, but everybody to some extent has probably been exposed and probably has them. And I have found that since I got my TENS unit for my pain, and it's kind of functioned like a zapper in that it has changed a few things, and now I think I've got even a little bit more awareness than I did, and of course less pain.
Sure.
So it's a win-win for me. So if you feel kind of stalled along your way, it might be, I don't know, maybe the parasites are interfering with that too, with our development too. But I think we're probably supposed to live to be at least a couple of 100 years old and be able to regenerate.
God no.
Well, if it can slow down the whole body thing, then I'm game. But if I'm going to be a puddle of old person, then I think I'm not going to want to last that long. I'm already feeling pretty old.
No, I don't want to be that either. But I don't think we have to be either.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to be. I think maybe the stuff that brings down our health. I think if we were really healthy, we wouldn't. I mean, if you think about it, yeah, I really am on the side that old age is a series of diseases, and your telomeres shortening. If we have enough telomerase in our systems, they lengthen again. So that would effectively be regeneration, wouldn't it?
It sounds like it.
Yeah, it is the length of our telomeres that determines our lifespan. And how short they are is how short we're going to live.
Right.
So, and they divide every time our cells divide. So we have to find ways of lengthening them if we're to achieve that. But anyway.
Yeah, I've understood that they were researching cancer. I understand they were researching cancer because apparently there's a hook on the end of the telomeres that keep them from shortening ever, and that's why cancer cells don't age. And they were trying to figure out if they could apply that to the human cells, but I think that kind of science is incredibly dangerous.
Bruce Lipton? Biologist said, he was the one that said, look, it's this simple. You take cells, and this is his findings, you take cells, put them in an unhealthy environment, they start to get sick and die. You put them back in a healthy environment, they will live. They will live long, and they will reproduce and be happy little cells. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that actually a cancer is really what did he call it? The thing that babies, it's like a mini, I can't think of the word. The thing that surrounds the baby to protect it.
The embryonic?
I can't think of the word.
The embryonic fluid or the
Yeah, it's like that.
placenta?
That sac.
Yeah.
He says it's an attempt for your body to protect you by it builds that sac, and that's really what it is. And so what they're doing really is it sort of leads into stem cells and all of that. So. I'm not entirely sure, being not a biologist myself. I think it's very funny that one of my friends who was a biologist accused me one time, because she heard I was magical, of cutting up small animals in the backyard, which I have never. I don't do that. For a ritual? No, never. Yeah. Maybe for food. Sorry, sometimes I, do barbecue or something, but not with, not to sacrifice to any gods or anything. As a matter of fact, I don't believe that anybody that wants to be worshipped and sacrificed to really deserves it.
Right, I agree. I would agree with that.
So I'm just not that girl. But it was just funny that this biologist was telling me that, and I turn and I look at her and I go, "But you have cut up and sacrificed quite a few animals to the science god, haven't you?" She got very angry.
She didn't like that angle, huh? Oof.
She didn't like that angle at all. How many have you cut up and been merciless? Yeah. They're merciless. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't get me started. And let's not go too deep into that because that pisses me off. But how dare somebody who that's what you do and you're you're trying to put this on me? What?
Yeah.
You know, me who will help an animal spirit cross peacefully? You're putting this on me. No, you're not.
Good for you.
Here's another thing I've been feeling very strongly to remind people, this is our reality, and we need to tell it what to do for us.
Very true. I agree wholeheartedly with that. In fact, I've been working pretty hard on that for a number of years now, and I feel like I've made good progress.
If it's not, it's something in our heads that's keeping it from happening because we are the power. We are the creators. My videos, the Divine Mother and Father say, you're divine. There isn't anybody, nobody more divine than you. So, use it. And I remember the big guy in my backyard. I think I've told you about this before that helps me do a lot of things. He appears to be some kind of elemental. Well, we've been discussing this back and forth on BTV. It's like that's probably one of our programs. That could be one of our programs. I mean, the archangels and the angels and everything. If we created this, we created all of that too. Well, one of the things he said to me, and I didn't know what it meant at the time, was there is a lot of help waiting. There are a lot of beings waiting to help you, but you must initiate the program. And at the time I'm thinking, oh, that just means, the way people talk, you got to start things yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, what if he really meant initiate the program? What if we initiate these programs?
Yeah.
Because we're the creators and they're waiting to be initiated. They can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
The way we built the place is we have to initiate the program.
Right.
What if that is really exactly what we have to do?
Okay,
Just
Dee.
a thought. Anyway, yes.
We got another call on the board that I want to get to, but thank you so much for calling in, and that's
all I have to say today.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, love you, dear.
That was it.
All right. We love you.
Bye-bye.
All right, see ya.
Love you, Dee.
Love you too.
Love all of you.
All right, and thanks so much for calling in as always. But we do have another caller here, and I want to get to that call, and this is area code 580. You're on the air.
Oh, hey, that's me again.
Welcome back. How you doing?
Pretty good. I'm not sure. I wasn't going to call in tonight. Oh. I was just going to, chat with people on the online and listen to the y'all show.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, out of the blue, popped in my head a poem that I wrote about a soldier that we talked to. We helped one time. That's about 2 years ago. About 2 years ago. She's not talking that.
Oh, okay.
She just nodded.
Okay.
Well, look at here.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
But anyway.
I'm tired tonight.
Oh, that's okay.
But anyway, this has nothing to do with all of your previous calls. And so why this popped in my head, I have no idea. But it came me I need to share a poem that I've written. We helped a soldier, like I said, a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he let us know what it was like as he was laying there dying.
Oh.
In the battlefield. And I do not know. I still could not get if it was Civil War, if it was, I don't know what war it was. Mm-hmm. I never got that from him. But all I got was what he was telling me, and he just wants to know that his family is taken care of. And I said, I'll do my best. And so I got this, like I said, I told you the other day, I got like 500 stories and poems on my, I need to write a book about this. I really do. But anyway, I just want to read this poem to you.
Sure.
That I wrote after talking with this guy.
Okay, wonderful.
And And this is what came from. He said, well, he didn't say these. This is kind of what he said, and I put together.
Sure.
I love watching the clouds today, even though it's against the orders. There are so many rules. Why is that? And have we yet crossed the borders? I'm not supposed to be here watching these clouds roll by. I'm supposed to make sure the enemy around me has died. My breath seems to be wrong. My heart is not beating quite right. Why is this happening to me? Am I going to die today, or will it be tonight? Did we win? Did we achieve victory? Please tell me the answer is yes. I don't want to die out here, on a whim or on a guess. I did my job. Please tell me so. I did what I was supposed to do. Please tell me that we won, because from here, I haven't a clue. But, oh wow, such beauty above. Look at how those clouds pass by. Please tell me my loved ones will hear my last and final cry. Their bullets have hit their marks. This gun, it grows cold in my hand. And though I wish it was not true, I know I must depart from this land. Please, I ask you to take pity. Kiss my children and console my wife. Let them know I did my best. Let them know I gave for them my life. And he crossed over after we got that out.
Wow.
Wow, that gave me chills.
And he just, like I said, I don't know why. We go by our spirit guides, as y'all was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And while we sit here listening, it's out of the blue, it hit me. Someone needs to hear this, and so I called in.
Well, I appreciate that. It's a beautiful thing, and again, I appreciate all that you guys are doing and how you're working to cross these stranded souls over. I think is beautiful. It's a great service, you know.
It is, and it's very rewarding, and to be able to help people. Mm-hmm. Like I said, these weren't his exact words, but I'm a poet, and when they find this out, we've had so many, haven't we? Say, can you write a poem for me?
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, when we got that poem written, he's like, thank you. That's what I wanted to be out there. And then that was it. He crossed over.
There was one time, one spirit I wasn't with him at the time, but I was at work and he came home telling me about it. And he said he used to travel for a living in his job, environmental work. Mm-hmm. And he'd travel. And this guy popped into his truck and said, I hear you're the story writer. Is that what he called you?
Yeah, he said, are you the story writer?
Are you the story writer?
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted, and we'll have to dig up his story too.
I've got it too somewhere on here.
But somehow through the realm, he heard that Nicholas wrote, stories
mm-hmm.
and stuff.
And
he wanted to tell his stories. A lot of spirits wants to tell their story, and some spirits don't.
Yeah, right now we got Pamela here, and she's not wanting. And matter of fact, she's got mad at me now. She doesn't want to. He made her know she's even here.
But some of them want to be told.
Oh. And but yeah, we've had what happened? I was driving. I had just crossed over the Louisiana and Oklahoma border.
Yeah,
Texas border, Oklahoma to Texas. And then right as soon as I crossed that border, it was like there was a man sitting next to me in my truck. And he says, are you the storyteller? And I was like, I kind of swerved a little bit. Like, yeah. He goes, I have a story I want to tell you. And then bam, he was gone. He just like really quick came in and out.
And he came back
then he came back the next, I think it's 2 nights later.
Wow.
And he gave us a story. He goes, I want my story shared. And I wrote that down, like I said, to find it. But this has happened so many times, and so that's why I have so much stuff on my computer from these people we've helped.
Sure.
And it's this, and I know that I need to put this into a book, mm-hmm. but I'm having a very hard time figuring out how to even start it.
Right.
You know, but by the way, we help these people, you know, and here's the stories, you know, and how do you do that?
You do it just.
Your show has a lot.
Yeah, your show has helped us a tremendous amount.
Well,
I'm
really honored. Just hold on to the line, Nick. We'll get right back to you in just a couple minutes. We got to go to our break here pretty quick, but in a couple minutes we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll continue our conversation with Nick. And then wherever we go, we go. Don't go away. Give me the evil laugh. Give me the evil laugh, Don. Had to let Don give us the evil laugh as we came in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. The last half hour is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. But right now we are joined by our good friend Mr. Nicholas here, who is calling. He and his missus. I forgot.
Rhonda?
Rhonda? Is it right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, my personal dyslexia is names, and so it'll take me about 15 or 20 more times to remember that. But actually, I can remember your name because it's my ex-wife's name, which I don't think is really flattering. But she's a nice person, and we get along great. So I hope there's that wasn't a poor thing to say. But welcome back, you guys, and thank you. You were telling. You were about to jump into another story there, and I'm sorry we hit the break, but if you'd like to continue, we'd love to hear more.
Go ahead.
Well, no, what I was getting at was it wasn't another story. I said I can't find that one, actually. I'm looking for it, and I can't. I have so many.
We just wanted to share that.
We wanted to share the soldier one, right. and what I was explaining, we've had some contest, and I don't know if the spirit guides send them to us, if they get led to us or what. This one came out of the blue. We didn't go get an object.
We call them roamers.
Yeah, we call them roamers. Yeah.
It's another section.
And he came in and said, "Tell my story." And I'm going through here now. I mean, I've got files on here now. I'm, like I said, I'm scrolling to a computer here, and I got this one file. And it's called 365, and I got 365,000 word document here.
Wow.
It's just full of stories. I got all in one document. I haven't split them out.
Huh.
And so it could be in the middle of that. Does that make sense?
Oh, sure. It does.
And so
you definitely got to write a book.
Do what?
You definitely got to write a book, though. You know that, right? And
yes, I do.
I think you just.
I had it there. I'll probably have nearly 600,000 words of stories.
Wow. You just do here. This is me. This is my wife. This is what we do, and here are some records of our journey. And then you just put them in there. I wouldn't worry about organizing it because each one is just beautiful and tells a story. And it doesn't need a lot because it's already such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think the writer part of my head wants to organize it. Does that make sense?
It does.
I want to make a little diagram, and I want to, break it all down, and
right.
You can't control it.
That's just the writer in my head. Like I told you, now we have one of Penelope, and she was the very first one I ever wrote. And it's called automatic writing. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's where you can nail it and you automatic write.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the words come flowing, not from me, but from those we're helping.
Right.
And we have a little girl. She's 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I told you about, I don't remember or not, Penelope. Mm-hmm. And she went down into the basement. Her dad said, "Do not unlock this door." That's having for those keys. She ended up getting attached to the key. Mm-hmm. But he said, "Do not go down to the basement when you hear the music playing." And it was like, 1970s music. It was Clearwater Revival, The Who, The Doors, those kind of songs.
Mm-hmm.
And never came back up, so she decided she's going to take that key and unlock it to go see if her dad was okay. And I got her entire story, but it's a 5,000 word story.
Wow.
But I didn't control the story. It was automatic writing, and that next thing I know, 3 hours had gone by, and I had 5,000 words in.
She actually told you she told the story, and at the end, if you remember, she gave you a kiss.
Yes. She said thank you.
She said thank you.
She said thank you. I just wanted people to know my dad was not a bad person.
And we'll have to. That'll take time. It's a very long.
Yeah, maybe one night when we have a chance.
A 2-hour show that we can.
I can read the entire story, maybe.
Oh, sure.
Maybe it's a very long story.
Yeah, that sounds.
She was one of our first one we did.
Yeah, so maybe that's something we can set up in the future or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's a 5-word story.
Wow.
But it wasn't me writing it; it was her writing it.
Okay.
And they call it. I just said the word.
Automatic writing.
Actually.
Automatic writing, yes. Where she took over.
Yep.
and I just write everything that she was telling me.
Yeah, it's a form of mediumship, really. Yeah, that's very powerful.
It is, yeah. Yes, and it's like I said, maybe one night when we get a chance, I'll send y'all in an email, and maybe we can set something up.
Okay.
For that, because it's going to be a very long story and very sad story, but also very uplifting at the same time. I don't even know how to explain the story.
Sure. Well, no, I think it sounds like an amazing story. If you'd want to do it during a show time, do you think you can fit it into 2 hours?
I can probably fit it into an hour, but yeah, just hit this now is an hour and a half. So probably not an hour one. So yeah, I can fit a 2 hour one.
Okay. All right. Because we can do that, or we could record a special episode was just you and I, and then when it's done, and we can post it as its own standalone episode.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'll do then. What I'll do, I'll send it in on the email and let you read it.
Okay. Perfect.
And let's see, and let you decide on if it can be done or how you want to do it.
Sure, because
I'll just send you the story on.
Right. The only thing is that I wouldn't want any commercials to be breaking it up. That to me would seem like it would be in poor taste to such an amazing thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. What I'll do, I'll send it to you in an email and let you kind of read it, and then you can kind of figure out because you know your show.
Sure.
And you know what I mean?
You know how to do it.
I'm still stuck in the 1990s with Corel.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm way behind the technology.
That's all right, brother. Yeah.
I also got one person. That's how far back I am.
just email it to me, and we'll connect and figure out how to put it all together. But yeah, I'd be honored to do that. So just let me know.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll just send an email, and then I'll let you take it from there, and then we can call it in. I can read it, or you can read it. I'll let you figure that out.
All right, brother. That sounds perfect.
That's awesome.
Thanks, y'all.
Oh, thank you, and you guys
have a good night.
You too. Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you.
Wow.
Bye.
That's wonderful.
That is amazing.
That's a really cool thing. And that's what I love about the show is this. When people get involved and create a whole nother narrative and a whole nother picture for us to fill up the story with, I think that's a really beautiful thing.
And that's what's nice about this format that we have now is, it just flows from one thing to another, and sometimes it takes, people time to go, maybe the first half of the show to go, you know what, I need to share this.
Yes.
Because they get comfortable and they feel like they can, and that's great. That's absolutely wonderful, and that's what we want. We want to provide a place where people can showcase what they do. In Nick's case, in Nicholas's case about the writing and the contact and the help crossing over, and of course Deb with her stories, and Sean, and these people can help,
right?
Sometimes it takes a little while for them to go, you know what, I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
but that's what we're here for.
It is, and Don, how many times have we planned shows? We did a plan, and we keep asking for people to participate, but when we have a planned show, they feel
they
that
just
they
want
have
to sit and listen to the show.
They either want to listen to the show, or it's like, well, I got something I'd want to share, but
I don't want to interrupt the show.
Yeah, or it doesn't really have to do with this topic, and so, I love having guests on and covering a topic. That is perfect, and those are different shows entirely. But Don and I basically decided that when there's no guest scheduled, when we got a 2-hour show to do, we're just gonna do a show. And honest to God, the shows take on a life of their own. Many times we've started with an idea of what the show was going to be and ended up completely somewhere different by the end of it. And that's okay too. So now I just call them Paranormal Mayhem, and whatever happens, happens. Sometimes they're all goofy and funny. Sometimes they're tearjerkers. Sometimes they're, these amazing reverence shows, and other times they're just absolutely ridiculous, but they're a lot of fun.
Yes.
And so we've kind of created this free form format for the show because, it really does go the direction it goes. It really is. It has a direction of its own. It doesn't matter what we plan. Whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen anyway.
Right.
And so all I look like is that I just can't hold it together.
Right.
But when I say Paranormal Mayhem, it doesn't matter what happens then because we're covered. It's all part of the mayhem.
It's all invited, and it's so awesome. Nick just said in the chat that this show is really helping us open up and share. I've always had a problem with this. Well, doggone it. Thank you. You said you found us on MeWe. If you can, share what pages you saw that on. But that's just awesome, Nicholas. Thank you, and just keep calling. We love these stories. This is the point. That's the point.
It's all part of our amazing master plan. And that plan is we don't have one. We have no plan, ladies and gentlemen. We come in here and turn on the lights and just turn it on, and it leads us.
That's right.
The portal leads us. We just kind of hang on.
And like I said, sometimes people can't make it through that first part of the show, and that's just the way it is. But what they do is they miss the gold at the end of the show. They really, really do.
Yeah. Well, some people want to plug in a show, hear 5 ghost stories, and then
that's true.
And that's what they want. That's what they want from their YouTube or their whatever shows they're listening to.
Those aren't really shows. This is a show.
Right. No, those are just quick presentations. Those are PowerPoint slides, basically. And they're great shows. I love them, too.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. There we go again.
It's getting spooky, Don.
It kind of started to scare me, man.
But it's just that, that's not the flavor of the show. The show isn't just, here's some scary stuff. Okay, good night.
Exactly, yeah.
We'll serve you a plate with a burger and fries and, okay, good night. Take care.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we like to have a dialogue. We like to have a discussion. We like to learn from each of you and you guys learning from us. And hopefully together we come to a better understanding of whatever the hell this stuff is. But, I get criticism emails sometimes. Like, oh, it took you 15 minutes to talk about absolutely nothing. Not one story. It's like, there's 500 other shows out there where all they do is spit out stories. And I wouldn't want to compete with that anyway. It's like they do what they do really well. Go check out Cryptid Tales by, Matt Knapp. He's doing a great job over there of doing these stories. And he does excellent narration. And it's just right to the point and really entertaining. If you want to have a dialogue, if you want to have a discussion, it's like the difference between, Matt Knapp's show and the Bigfoot Outlaw show. The Bigfoot Outlaws is a great discussion. They get on, they have discussions, they share ideas. Same with World Bigfoot Radio with Duke, or even Wes's show, and the confessionals. It's like we all have these discussions. We have this journey that we're on, and wherever we go, we go. So
make sure to pack some clean undies, because it's gonna be a ride.
Oh no, I can't say anything. I'm at that point now where it's like it's all right here. It just wants to come out.
Sitting on the back of the tongue, working its way to the tip.
Yeah, and I got to keep swallowing. Get back down there. This is a family show.
Stop it.
This is a family show.
So yeah.
So that's just the path of the portal, ladies and gentlemen. There is no path. It's it's kind of the Matrix. There is no spoon. Yeah. So that's the trick, is to know that we really don't have a path. We are just on a journey.
Yes. And that I refer to that. I say that all the time. I say, this is my journey. This is why I'm here.
Right.
And it's just, and you named the episode just perfectly, The Fantastic Journey of Paranormal Mayhem.
Yeah.
Did you know this was going to happen?
I would love to say that I did, but I never know what the hell's going to happen on this show. That would imply that this is somehow planned. And we both know that doesn't happen.
No, that's not happenstance. So you know what this tells me? This tells me that Nicholas was supposed to call in, and we were supposed to hear that. And Dee was supposed to call in and share about the Rainbow Kitty.
And Jerry was supposed to call in. Yeah, I mean, it's just been a great night of participation and, sharing. So, and that's what I love. And it's all thanks to this cool phone line that we got and we can use all the time. Even the bedtime stories, I'm getting great call-ins.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I actually met Nick and his wife and Virginia as well.
Right, yeah.
Was they all called in during the bedtime stories, which I wasn't expecting, but it's awesome. I'm fine presenting, the stories on the bedtime stories, but
Nicholas just said, yes, I've gone to other shows and they've never felt right, if you know what I mean. So what that actually means is that we're right. He's family.
yeah, well, you found a family here, Nick, is what you did. So I hope you don't mind, and let me know if you need a list for Christmas. Speaking of clean underwear.
Exactly, yeah.
I could use a few new sets. No, I'm just kidding. Stocking stuffers.
That's not what you're stuffing in there.
Oh, come on, dude. I have to start muting you. You can't do that. Oh.
Oh, goodness. Oh.
Entertainment's free, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember, you get what you paid for.
Oh yes, William or Nicholas. Yes, I agree. $1 million would be great. Oh.
Well, we have that in common. Me too.
Wow. Yeah. So anyhow, wow. Okay. Certainly taking a turn today.
It always does, though. That's the path we're on.
Oh,
so.
wow.
Let's see if I can find something else. Or do you have something? I've been doing all the talking.
You know what? I've been having such a good time, and I tried.
That means Don didn't plan anything.
I was trying to find something, but somebody sent me something about starfish and how they have. Never mind. I can't.
Okay, so
that.
This is coming up, ladies and gentlemen, and this is another one from the Singular Fortean, and it's saying the U.S. Navy not expected to release information regarding unidentified aircraft. I don't know why either they would or wouldn't. I don't know what this is referencing. So it says the United States Navy is not expected to release any information gleaned from the implementation of new reporting guidelines. Okay, so there's this big discussion that there's a whole new protocol for pilots and people in the Navy to report when they've witnessed unidentified flying objects or whatever the hell they're called now. I'll always just say UFOs. But and people thought that was a great stride, at least in the what would seem like a governmental acknowledgement that there is weird stuff up there that they don't know how to explain. And by the way, those clips that I use in the UFO break are actually were allegedly from the Department of Defense, and that has been corroborated that those were released from the Pentagon. And so all of these things together have been kind of exciting because people are thinking, hey, you know what, we're moving towards disclosure. And I think a lot of us that are, very involved to some level or another in the whole UFO discussion are really anxious for that final day of disclosure when the U.S. government goes, yes, they're here. Yes, they've been coming here. Yes, this stuff is real. Yes, something crashed at Area 51 that wasn't a weather balloon. That we're waiting for that validation.
Oh, thanks, MCAT.
Thanks, MCAT. Thank you so much, brother. MCAT just showing his love as always. Nice donation. And the message, cheers.
Cheers.
I know what that means.
Hey, Norm.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, and I got milk bone underwear. One of the best lines from television ever.
Yeah,
George Wendt played the hell out of that.
Yep.
So now Brent can fix his board. Yeah. I don't know. I think that board's a little more expensive, but you want to cover the difference. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. I think I just got to reboot the computer and hopefully that'll clear it up. If it is just a quirky electronic thing, if it's paranormal, then only God can help me.
Oh boy.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't feel like it's that kind of haunting if it is indeed paranormal. And I'm kind of leaning towards it's definitely weird.
Right.
But so apparently they don't feel compelled to share whatever these new reports are. So that's the kind of the official release.
Bigfoot in Germany, one of our chatters, says people are waiting on disclosure. Crack me up. They want the government that's been lying to us for decades to tell us UFOs are real. Well, I was just talking to a guy named Ted Lohman today, and he's he's an old timer in the UFO community, and he had a show called UFO AZ. It was public access down in Arizona. And I was talking with him today, and I got the impression that he was telling me that the government is letting these shows are being allowed to be on to open us up to disclosure, so we don't freak out when we find out the aliens are actually here. You know, it's pretty well known. It's pretty widely believed, let me say that the aliens have been here forever, and that we just haven't seen them. They've been, and as far as, races, the Palladians are supposedly just like you and me. We wouldn't know they were sitting next to us on the bus if we didn't know how to tell. And
Right.
so, there are many that believe that disclosure is coming. It's just coming really, really,
Really
really
slowly.
slow.
But there are governments that have disclosed. They've opened their books allegedly, or maybe it's a soft disclosure. I don't know. I don't know if anybody would ever open up and say, "Here's everything we have.
No.
Come take a look on the shelves."
Just
But
ask Paul Hellman.
But I think Paul Hellier.
Yeah.
Hellman. That's the mayonnaise.
I didn't say Hellman, but I
thought you
did mispronounce his name. But apparently you got sandwich on the brain.
I got lots of things on my brain, Don. You should hear how noisy it is in here.
Arby's sounds really good right now.
You're not helping any. But no, I think that what the hell was that? I was going to say that, and Wes
Right.
brought up a good point. He said, soon, by the time they disclose, it's going to be too late.
Right.
And I agree that that's true. I mean, and honestly, we don't really need the disclosure, but I'm looking forward to the day when they got to go, okay, you guys were right.
We're a bunch of liars.
We're stupid. It's like everybody knows with any kind of anybody that's done any kind of research into this, even for the most part, not anybody, but a lot of people that have done the research walk away going, yeah, there's something really weird going on. When you look at the caliber of witnesses that have come forward and said, these are professional people that could very well be committing career suicide in a lot of cases, but they're saying, hey, this is the truth. This is what I saw.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like Bigfoot. They can't all be wrong.
Right.
Right. People are seeing things out there that don't fall into the normal categories that we have established for ourselves. And that's our ballpark, Don.
There you go.
That's where we live, in that shrouded area of weirdness called the paranormal.
There's the truth there.
But no, I think that disclosure would be cool just in that regard, that they'd have to admit it and go, all right, we suck. You guys were right.
Okay, yes, that's true. A hammer does not cost $15,000.
Yeah, we don't really have $15,000 hammers. It was for the black projects. And then everybody will want refunds on their taxes.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm not paying taxes ever. But it's interesting. Whether it'll come or not in our lifetime, hell, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so, but only for the fact that it would just be them eating crow, and that would be kind of cool because what?
No, just watch the thought of government eating crow. Was...
It is. It really sucks that this stuff is going on, and they know it's going on, but they still are just holding that line. Now, the fact that the Navy did reopen this reporting protocols,
right,
I think is encouraging, at least to the point that there's some kind of acknowledgement that people are seeing something that they can't quantify or explain in standard terms. Like, that's not Russian. That's not anybody else's. That's got to be something weird. Okay, open up the weird book. So
exactly.
I can, but knowing, also hearing that report that even though they have these new reporting protocols, they have no compulsion to release it.
Yeah.
So it really means nothing at that
Right.
point. Then it's like, hey, cool, you guys got a new method of reporting. All right. It's like saying I changed my toilet paper. It's like, well, great, but nobody's going to appreciate
You didn't
that
need to disclose
except
that.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's going to get the benefit of that except you. So if you got some really quilted stuff cooking, great. Or if you're using the one ply, too bad. But so they got this new protocol. That is somewhat of an acknowledgement, but. If they're not going to release it, it's just the same as, I'm wearing new underwear, but you'll never know it.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Well, Digger Dog says, just realize they're not telling us because of them wanting control. Well, yeah, it's all a method.
Right.
It's all a measure of control. Yeah, every bit.
It's a continual controlling of the narrative on that. And, the nice thing is that many different people see this stuff, so it's not new. But we, ladies and gentlemen, are fresh out of time
Oh,
here on this
no.
batch of Paranormal Mayhem.
Dang it.
We love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. And
Thank you for the call-ins.
Yeah, thanks for the call-ins, everybody. And stick around for Jimmy Jean
Jimmy
into the
Jean!
microcosm coming up next here. I don't know if he's in the
Yeah,
TFR chat room.
Yep,
So
he's there.
all right, guys, love y'all and have a great night. And I'll be back tomorrow with the bedtime stories. So we'll talk to you soon. Good night.